Good morning. Well, there are so many things that need reforms in Nigeria. So many, just too many of them. And like I always say, that we already diagnosed the problems in this country. If you listen to people every day online, people will complain, and a lot of people really know what the problems are. It's just left for what the solutions are. And the solutions depend on all of us, just as the problems affect all of us. Not many people know that these things just need, in fact, starting the laws in our states, in our country, not many people is aware of these laws and they are affecting. For instance, when I decided to go into the um, transportation sector to see how I can influence some things and make some reforms happen, starting with Lagos State, many people think we started today. No, we actually started in Ogun State. But people believe that what I'm doing is only Lagos. No. In Ogun State, do you know how many road we cost attention for in Ogun State? How many roads? Agbara, Aton, Songo, Joju, causing serious attention, and they were getting the needed attention. The latest is the one from Abeokuta to Songo. And I'm definitely still going back there because it looks like the gang, they called it, I mean, the gang of like the equipment or the teams doing the construction, the gang handling the effort to Songo section, I think is a bit slow. So I will go back there to let the governor know that that particular place is very slow. Someone says the network is breaking. Well, I guess it's my own network from here. Now MTN I dey use o. MTN, I bet people they complain o. But let me know if it has improved so I can just continue. So we will go back to Ogun State and continue to update the works on the roads. These roads need attention. We will go back there. But this is what I have understood so far. Many laws in this country are actually the problems. We were at the Lagos State House of Assembly where we went to defend or to speak to the petition. Do you know, for instance, that the punishment for one way is 1 year for first offender, 1 year imprisonment plus forfeiture of your car? That's in our food for boys now, because there's no way you ply one way, the place has no sign. You will now get, they will not tell you after they apprehend you and tell you the law. They will not show you the law. How many people is aware of this? They will not show you the law, and it's frightening. The law says you will go to jail for 1 year and you will forfeit your car just for applying a one way that you did not know is one way because there was no sign. If you now tell them, okay, thank you so much, that it's better. If you now tell them at the court that, but I'm not aware that that place is one way, they will tell you ignorance of law is no defense. And that's why we are doing this sensitization. Because I also believe that, yes, ignorance is no defense, but at the same time, hiding the law is wicked. Hiding the law is also unfair. I should know so that even if you are delivering judgments to me, you are delivering judgments, I should be able to accept it as fair. That yes, I truly contravened. You are contravening a law that you did not even know exists, and it's a lot. So some sharks are using that avenue to be extorting people. Because when they show you that, oh, you are going to jail for 1 year and you are going to forfeit your car for playing a one way you did not know. Omo, you start begging. You start to beg. And you say, okay, if you want me to help you, give me five. If you don't want to go to court, give me 500,000. Give me 350. That is how. That's how people are extorted. And it begins with these laws. So part of the reforms we are pushing for is that the Lagos State House of Assembly should please, and we have started doing this work, we are talking to them, that the Lagos State House of Assembly should please look at this law again. Law is made for man, not man for law. And let us do well enough to sensitize. We are taking the burden already, sensitizing people and putting science where we can. But we need the laws. We need some amendments, adjustments on our roads. Three major things I really want to achieve in this transport sector before I move to the next sector. I have studied that places where there are problems that are usually controversial on our roads should be amended, like some BRT spots, like the one we are talking about at that K2 mile 2, mile 12. The adjustments we have suggested to them, and I hope, and I'll continue to follow up with Lamata to ensure that they implement these changes quick enough. The Odoyalaro Bridge, we have suggested to them also the plastic flexible delineators, put it there. Whoever now contravenes the law, yes, they too will know, they will accept the penalty. But penalties are difficult to accept when they are wondering how they came about the offense in the first place. That said, we now move on to the laws themselves. To start, the laws themselves, we want to see how we can amend some of them that we perceive as too harsh. So we are walking the talk. We are using this serious advocacy works, and we are doing the legwork, doing the advocacy, and doing the legwork to follow up, to monitor, to speak to it, to action it. And it's not the job of one person. There are so many sectors in Nigeria. By the time I'm done with the transport sector, when I see the reforms I really wish to see in the transport sector, I hope to move to the health sector next. Yeah, health sector. And after then, I'll push in the real estate. I'll push into nature, because proliferation of real estate in Nigeria somehow is affecting our ecosystem. We need to also look into the law of preserving the forest to an extent. Not everything should be real estate. Not everything. Yeah, there are laws, but somehow we start seeing that anyways, we'll go to a lot of things just need reforms. A lot just need reforms. And it begins with the laws. Not many people know. How many people are not aware of the laws until they come in contact or have an encounter with a particular thing, and they now read the law to you. You now be like, oh, man, I didn't know. So it begins with the law, and we'll start from there, marshalling the points, doing the advocacy, following up, doing the legwork as required too. But this thing is not easy. This thing is not as easy. The work is slow because there's little from individual capacity. Capacity dey, but it needs resources. So that is why I will be putting it, like people have suggested I should be putting, like they have suggested I should be putting it. I'll put it again. Those that are asking for how can we support you? How do we support you? I'll put it. But trust me, we can make things work for us. I hope it's bold enough. If there's any part you can't see in the information, just let me know. Is this font okay? Is this font okay? 10, 23, 28, 98, 63. Is this font okay? I don't know. Anyways, let me continue. These reforms require a lot of legwork. And these things are resource consuming. It's eating into my own daily 2K. It's eating into my daily 2K. And, but it's something that should not stop. So, liking it, commenting on it is okay, it's fine, it's nice, it's encouraging. But the work still plenty. Like, I sat down, did the list, things that need to be done. I just shook my head and said, well, only coming together, only pulling resources together can do it. So my own daily 2K is only able to do one here once in a while. It's so slow. But then, slow and steady, I still believe can win the race for us. All the same, since there are people, letting them know the need is also part of what can help the advocacy. So we call on every lover of reforms that they wish to see to support this work. We cannot do it alone with my daily 2K. I can't do it alone. I will not stop definitely, but I wish I wish that there can be as many progress as possible at the same time. But all of these are dependent or limited by resources. So it is on this note that I'm calling on everybody to support with the information of this, including those that are asking for my number. You have it on the screen already. It's WhatsApp only. Some will eventually message on WhatsApp and say, oh, we tried to call you, but it was not going. It won't go. It's only WhatsApp. So please, WhatsApp number is there on the screen as well. So to this extent, I want to say thank you everybody that have supported thus far. We will not stop. The reforms I wish to see on the road, we are making progress. And I want to also thank the Lagos State House Committee on Transport. I want to try to remember all of them that were present. Honorable Shabi, Honorable Ogunleye of Ikorodu constituency, the Honorable representing Oshodi Solo. I'm sorry I didn't really take note of the name when we met at the committee. Honorable Tobun of Ekpe, Honorable, if I as I remember, we mentioned them. Then the chairman task force, the chairman Lagos State Task Force, Mr. Akerele. Thank you so much. In fact, he explained to us that he was previously the person in charge of the BRT monitoring before they now brought the new person last year. That is CSP Kuranga. CSP Kuranga, thank you so much for also understanding with us. These are fine officers, you know. In fact, it was Mr. Akerele of the task force that suggested that, well, that place truly seems controversial because of the way it is structured. That he also agreed that, okay, there should be something to be done about that place and that enforcement should. So, CSP Kuranga nodded in agreement and said, okay. So it was a smooth deliberation in that high-powered meeting. Then Lamata was also represented. I mean, I will be following up with Lamata to, as quickly as possible, implement these things as suggested to them. I will continue to follow up, and I trust that they will do it. Mrs. Shonaike, thank you. She came representing the legal representative of Lamata. She was there. She took some notes, and I'm sure she went with the notes. I'll follow up with her today, definitely again. I'll follow up with her, and I'm sure that they will definitely do well. Lasma, yes, Lasma, Mr. Bakari Oki, thank you very much. We spoke yesterday while I was at on that bridge. There was a situation. We spoke there, and he quickly responded. And thank you so much. You're doing fine. So let's do this together. You know, it's collective for collective good, collective efforts for collective good. Thank you so much, everybody. It's just a brief one, and to say we'll continue subject to how we have capacity. So somebody was asking me how much does it cost to make one signpost. Let me break it down. There's no specific cost, but it ranges from 120 above. The reflective is not expensive. The reflective is like less than 20,000, and that is the reflective we print on the signage itself. But because we use um, galvanized pipe and iron sheet, iron plate, iron is expensive now. The galvanized pipe and iron plates, some depending on the length you are using, and the length will also depending on the place, because you have to measure it and say, okay, what will people see on this place? Will it be tall? Will it be average height? What is the size you are printing? The orientation, the dimension. By the time you do all of those things, with welder that will do the job, will run into around 70K. I just said printing 20, around 20, the the pole and metal itself around 70, sometimes cheaper depending on the length. Again, I said. Then the workman, the workman, the welder or bricklayer, because to put it, you have to study the place. What will you require without without causing alteration to the road furniture, because you also don't want to disturb the road furniture. You don't want to cause alteration. You don't want to do anything that can affect a hair. So you have to look at it very well and know what to put without disturbing traffic and without causing problems. So that said, like the last one we did, we had to use cement and concrete. Yeah, do the form work. Carpenter will do the form work, cement and concrete to give it a base. And we will wait until it dries before we leave, cement and concrete and the bricklayer, their own cost. Then you go with people, because you transport yourself to and fro. That means, like the last one we went, we used the Sienna, because you have to use a space bus that can contain the signage you are carrying, that can carry both your people and the signage. So roughly, we spend around 120, 150K, depending on the location and the kind of thing we are putting. So imagine I now want to put 10 signage. You are doing 150K times 10. That's 1.5. If this is coming from my daily 2K, how many will I be able to do? It's just an explainer. It's just an explainer. So thank you so much for understanding. We can do more together. And don't forget also, it's not just about the signage. It's also about the legwork. Yes. Because we are not just doing things. We are doing it in collaboration. Like, yes, you go and pay this one visit. You go and pay that one visit. You let them know. You take letters here and there. So there are legworks involved too. There are legworks. And these things are also resources. So I'll appreciate if we can get support sufficient enough to do more work. I know what I'm doing. Some of you are also playing in your mind. Say, say some people no go happy. No, advocacy is also going to cover them. And I mean cover them in the sense that we will get to the stage where we understand that they also need to earn well to do the job well, because security is very important. Security is very important. And if your security, am I back? Can you still hear me? Am I back? Can you still hear me? So as I was explaining, security is very important. And if your security men are weak, it's dangerous. It makes you susceptible. It makes you um, vulnerable. So that's why we must ensure that our security apparatus, security men are well taken care of. So it's part of our advocacy. We'll be pushing for better welfare package for our security men. We shall thank you for confirming, Alaga Ben. So we shall be pushing for better pay, better welfare packages for our security men. Security is key. So, and I'm sure that as we are taking these steps and we are getting progress and success, we are making progress. I'm sure that we'll make progress all through. So, reform advocacy is what we are using. So, when we are done to a reasonable extent in the transport sector, trust me, the next place I want to go is health sector. I don't like to see doctors leaving Nigeria. The ratio of doctor to patient in Nigeria is so alarming. One doctor to over 1,000 patients. The other day, a doctor collapsed in line of duty, trying to cover for the absence of others and trying to ensure that he helps people in need of health care. We are going into the health sector. When last did you go to hospital? Allah sick, we pray. Okay, amen. But there are people there, so we need to ensure that the health sector is also. We'll get there. We'll get there. Thank you so much for your support, everybody, and the encouragement. I love you all. Have a